Hey, welcome to my review of the ASUS Zenbook UB. No, hold on, got it wrong. UX303UB. So this is the latest iteration of this device from ASUS 2016. I've had it for about a month, so I'm just going to give you a quick review. This isn't going to be a super technical review. If you need that, then there are quite a few reviews online already that you can read. But when I was looking at laptops, I like to sometimes find just a general user experience review of someone that's had it for a month or two. So that's what I'm going to try and provide you with today. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing you notice about this ultrabook netbook, the laptop is it's really pretty. It's got a sort of brushed aluminium lid with this swirl design on it, so it reflects the light beautifully. Nice embossed ASUS design in the middle there, so it looks good. I mean, I don't care personally, but when you buy the laptop, you don't care the price. Other things are more important. But when you get it and it looks nice, it's a bonus, isn't it? It's super lightweight. I think it weighs under 1.5 kilos. It certainly weighs a lot less than any other laptop I've ever had, and that includes a little netbook I used to use, which was probably about the same weight. Super thin. To give you an idea of the thickness, this is my iPhone 5 case, and it's a pretty slimline case. So yeah, look at that. She's what, twice the thickness of an iPhone 5? Not even. So it's a really nice thin machine and lightweight too. Underneath, feels like the same build quality. There's a nice metal plate. If you do need to remove this plate, it just sits on there. So there's about 9-10 screws. You remove them carefully. Well, you don't have to remove them carefully. Just remove them any way you want. You pop them out, and then the plate just sits on there. There's none of these like funny plastic clips that you're not sure if they're supposed to undo or break, or like you often get on a laptop. It just sits on there like a panel on the side of a car or something. It's really easy to get on and off. Inside, the reason I took it apart to have a look was I was a little bit concerned about these hinges in the corners, the lid hinges. If you read quite a few reviews for the Zenbooks over the last couple of years, seems that there's been a problem with the hinges. Some people say there has, some people say there hasn't. I'd say there probably has, because ASUS has redesigned the hinge for this model. I think this is the first model with the new hinge. The hinges that have been a problem seem to be a sort of pressed metal type hinge, whereas this looks like a hinge I've seen before. So there's a long rod. There's a long metal rod that basically runs the entire width of the notebook, and then here we have a sort of couple of nuts and spring tensioning arrangement here. I think it's a more sort of orthodox design. Yeah, it looks like ASUS have acknowledged the problem with the hinges on their Zenbooks, and they've changed it. The other reason I opened it up, I just wanted to have a quick look at the RAM. This computer comes with 4 gig of RAM, hard on the motherboard. You know, whatever you know. Well, soldered onto the motherboard, and then a slot for a second RAM stick. So it's a DDR3. It comes from the shop, from the factory, with another 4 gig. So that's 4 and 4 is 8. But you can obviously upgrade that. DDR3, you can certainly get $8 gig for relatively cheap. I believe it would take a 16 gig stick, which would give you a total of 4 and 16, which is 20. Whether that's true or not, whether it can handle 20 gig, I'm not sure. Whether you want to spend that much money, I mean, it would probably bottleneck somewhere else before it used 20 gig of RAM. So that's underneath. Yep. Okay, we'll look at the ports quickly. So on the right hand side, we have pretty standard, really. We've got power light, 3.5mm headphone jack, HDMI. This is a USB 3 port, which is, they call it Charger Plus. It's a charger port, so it'll charge your devices quicker. Plus, if the computer's turned off, you can still use it in your bag to charge up a phone or something, which is a quite nice feature to have. And then here we've got a DVI or a mini DVI. If you've got an adapter, you can use that to plug in directly into a VGA. On the other side, we've got 2 USB 2 ports here, nice and big, and then we've got an SD card slot, which, I mean, I don't take many photos, so I wouldn't really use that, but I guess, yeah, maybe you would. One piece of the reason you might have an ultrabook is you're out and about a bit. Now, one thing that caught me out, you probably think I'm stupid, feel free to laugh at me, but this is the power adapter that comes with it. I mean, it does the job. It seems pretty kind of crappy, to be honest. I don't know how it's going to last. Hopefully it lasts a while, but yeah, it doesn't seem the best power adapter I've ever owned. This caught me out. Feel free to post fuckwit comments, but that's fine. So when I first got this netbook, I've never had a netbook that does this before. This is the power. Pop her in. I was like, sort of doesn't feel like it's all the way in, but it is. It's almost like there's something in there pushing it back, but you know, you don't want to force things, so I left it there. And it gives power, but moving it, power goes on and off battery. I was like, this can't be right. So I just, after about a week, I was like, oh, this can't be right. I thought I'd just gently, and like, not that gently to be honest, give it a bit of a push. And yeah, it clicks in. So, I mean, it clicks in quite tight, which is fine now, I know, but I mean, you don't want to do that to start with. You don't want to force things. So it took me a little bit of confidence before I do that, but yeah, which is quite nice now because you can move it around and you know it's not going to come out. I guess it's the exact opposite of Apple, where they've got the nice magnet, which was if someone kicks it, it will come out. With this, if someone kicks it, it won't come out. Your laptop's gone on the floor at quite a rapid rate. But anyway, so that's the power. So let's have a look inside. So this is the inside of it. Glossy screen, not my first choice, but that's what it comes with. There's no option for a matte screen, and it's a touch screen there too. We'll talk about that in a moment. Keyboard, fine, absolutely fine, no problems with this at all. Yeah, I would like to have had a number pad over here because I do a bit of coding, but that wasn't to be, obviously, on such a small laptop, so that's the small compromise I made. The keyboard lights up, which is really, really nice. Never had a keyboard that's done that before. Another thing, a bit of a gimmick, but no, love it, absolutely love it. I do, you know, in the evenings when you code in, you can sit in a darkened room now and just tap away, which I really, really enjoy. Touchpad, various reviews of this when I was looking. Some people said it was a fantastic touchpad, the best they've ever used. Some people said it was crappy. I personally fall into the crappy camp. I think my main problem with it is I use two hands on the touchpad. Because the buttons are part of the touchpad and there's no distinct line, they're not, you know, separate, my fingers tend to sneak up onto the touchpad, and with it being multi-touch, and before you start posting comments, I've disabled as much as I can of the multi-touch, and so it's not operating as multi-touch, but it still detects multi-touch. Yeah, my fingers might sneak up, which makes the mouse a little bit pointer a little bit erratic on the screen, which is a bit annoying, but you can live with it. What makes it easier to live with in many ways is the fact that it does have a touch screen. So let's have a look. Hold on. Look at that. Touchscreen. Didn't think I'd use it. Again, I thought it was a little bit gimmicky, but you know, here, for example, boom. You know, I've been using it all the time. Actually, it's really, really handy. I mean, if you look at my desktop, my Mac, the screen's way over here. So if this was touchscreen, I probably wouldn't really use it. But with this being such a small laptop, I mean, it's 2 inches from the keyboard, so you do use it all the time. And it's, in a lot of ways, it's nicer than the touchpad. One problem, it's such a small screen, and it's 1080 HD that I've managed to reduce the image with Windows, you know, the picture down to 75%, so I can fit everything I need on the screen at all times, which can make things like these, like there's my thumb look, quite small and fiddly. But at the same time, it seems to such a nice touchscreen that it works fine. So that's great. In terms of performance, well, I couldn't be happier. I've not had a new laptop for 3 or 4 years. This comes with an i7 Skylake processor, comes with 8 GB of RAM and a 256 hard drive on board in the version I've got. It is lightning fast. I think you can get faster computers, I'm sure you can, but I've never had a computer anywhere remotely this fast, so I'm unbelievably happy with it. In terms of performance, I can have it from a cold start. I can have it started, type my password, log in, and start Photoshop within 20 seconds. And I mean, yeah, wow, great. And that's not from sleep, that's from a full startup. Vents across here. I've tried Grand Theft Auto 5 because this comes with a an NVIDIA 940G something graphics card, which is a very basic graphics card, but nonetheless it is. It ran Grand Theft Auto 5 no problem. Had to play on that. It's great fun. Yet finished with that now though. But I'm currently running FIFA 15 on it, and it's running beautifully. It doesn't even really get hot for FIFA, to be honest. So all in all, to sum it up, if you want a lightweight laptop, 1.5 kilos, with a reasonable amount, well, a great performance as far as I'm concerned. It's fast. Yeah. What else? That looks nice and that's cheap. I paid 1,700 Kiwi for this. Yeah, if you want all of those things, lightweight, affordable, portable, good battery life, it's going to seems to go for about 5 or 6 hours depending on what you're doing. Then in my opinion, you really, really can't go wrong with this. When I was looking, I couldn't find anything for this price that was comparable. Nothing at all. So yeah, that's my review. If you've got any questions, post them. Otherwise, we'll just get the final. What do you think of the laptop, Shells? Shirley, 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 hey, Shirley, Shirley. Do you want a biscuit? No. Okay. So that's what Shirley thinks of the laptop. She's not a big computer user. Hey, have a great day and thanks for watching my review. Cheers. Goodbye.